Welcome back. So this is the Which House Should I Buy segment, and John and I are now going to go through the slow home test on the Front View 40 flats. We're going to compare two units to each other. Unit C is 1,153 square feet. Unit D is 1,217 square feet, both side by side, both corner units in the same development.
That's right. So let's start by having a look at the location, which is common to both. It got a walk score of 69 out of 100, which is not great for an apartment loft. We've certainly seen higher in Denver, in Dallas and Toronto, but you know it's moderately walkable. So I think it should get the location score. Environmental. That's a little bit more questionable, perhaps.
Yeah, but I think that the developer did make an effort to include some environmental features in the project and was interested in conserving water, heat, electricity.
Yeah.
So it came through in the website. So I think we should score it the points.
That's right. Now, in terms of siting, we need to look a little bit more closely. And so we pulled the site plan and a couple of Google Map images to show you that. So maybe I'll just talk about this just for a second. We've got the site here. And the two units are Unit C and Unit D there. So they're at the back end. This is actually north is up.
So they're south facing?
So they're south facing. This unit is getting some west sun.
West sun?
Yes. Now, if we just look at the Google map, this is actually the site. I'm assuming that Space Concept store is going with it. It might be there. But we can see that Unit D is looking out this way, and what it's looking out on is
the freeway.
The Valley Highway, and out back this way, and the Unit C is looking that way and that way. So just going in a little bit closer, I think that I'm going to say that Unit C probably has better siting than Unit D.
Yeah, and I would agree with you on that one. So are you saying that in Unit D we should take the point away for siting?
Saying that.
Okay. I was kind of on the fence about that because I actually did like the orientation of that unit, but I do agree with you, the freeway there, that's a big deal.
Yeah, I think it's just, and the outdoor living space is there and it's looking right at it. I don't think that it's particularly nice. Now, of course, that might be mitigated slightly by what's going on around here.
Right, but at least the noise issue, because that's a huge deal.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay,
so now in terms of organization, I think we need to look at the individual plans, right?
Right, so this is Unit C. I think it's well organized. I mean, it's very clear where the living, dining, kitchen space is. Very little circulation. I mean, look at that. It's all consolidated right by the front entry.
Yeah, no, it's quite nice right there like that.
It is really nice. And we talk a lot of times about splitting the bedrooms and how sometimes that's a problem because it creates a hallway. This is a really good example of a split bedroom plan where there's no hallway.
Exactly. I think it's really quite nicely done. And it also speaks to the idea of having that corner unit because you've got light coming around on both sides so that you actually can put the bedrooms over on those sides. So I'd say full marks for organization.
It's one of the better ones we've seen yet.
Okay, so we don't need to go through every point on the test, right? You can look at our results. They're posted on the website.
Yeah, you and I have slightly different opinions about what a couple of the problem areas are. There's not very many. My issue is the laundry. Yeah. I would take the laundry point away. I just think there's a door collision. I think it's really poor when the door to the laundry blocks the door to the bedroom when you're doing laundry. I don't think that's a very well organized laundry space. I think they could have turned the machine the other way, moved it down and switched the hot water tank or done something really simple like that, and it would have been more effective.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. I understand what you mean. I actually kind of like the location of it in terms of it being within that one bit of hallway space, and I like the way that also creates a bit of separation for this bathroom from the main living space.
Yeah.
But at a small scale, the door issue, there isn't really very much room in front of that.
The door would drive me nuts, so that's my only
And
issue.
then my issue has to do with the dining room. I just think it's too tight. If you think about how they've laid out the furniture there and there, it just doesn't feel quite right. I do like the way that they have that sorted there, but I just don't.
Do you want my opinion about that?
No, not really.
I actually think the dining room is pretty good. I think the problem is the furniture layout for the marketing brochure is poor.
Oh,
I think they've actually got a really bad way of. I wouldn't put those chairs in front of the window.
Here?
No, and I would switch the sectional. You could make
and
that work. I think the marketing brochure people did a bad job.
All right, I'll take your point.
Okay, good.
All right, so then overall, what did it score?
Well, if we give it the 2 points for the siting, then it scores 18 or 19, depending on whether you take off the point for the laundry or the dining room. So I think that's really good.
Yes. Okay. Looking at the at Unit D.
So talking about organization again. Now we took the points off for this one for citing because we both agreed the freeway was an issue.
That's right.
So organization, what do you think?
Well, it's got a lot more circulation, although I still think that it's well organized.
I agree. I think, it's a square.
Yeah.
You have to have a hall in a square, the proportion of the space, and I think they've actually done a really good job of making it work, and there's nothing that feels really extraneous to me.
No, I agree, and I think that this hallway, it does work as entry.
Yep.
And then it also serves to maybe even a little bit more clearly than the other unit.
Yeah, and I like the fact that the whole living, dining, kitchen space is one continuous, with no doors or anything to the bedroom.
No.
I think it's really well done.
The only thing I don't like about it is the front closet.
Yeah, and I agree with you because that was the one thing that I took a point off for. I actually took it off for entry. I don't know if that,
Yeah.
it's got a nice entry space, but I think the closet, the way it bumps into that room, I
Yeah.
think they could have actually made that work because there would
They
be a
could have
way.
done it there.
Or look at the end, they could have taken a little bit out of where that study space is or whatever that thing is. And the kitchen is really big on that back wall,
Yeah.
and I think they could have made it work flush into a wall.
Yeah, I agree. It makes that entrance into that room a little nasty, doesn't it?
Yeah. So what do you think about? I got to ask you this. What do you think about the dining room in this one? Because I think,
I like it.
yeah.
I really like it. I mean, I think what I probably would have done is move the kitchen down a little bit and then done what you had suggested and try and use that space
Yeah.
there, because I think it's a little oversized for a kitchen.
Yeah.
And had a bit more space there.
I totally agree because I think if the island had just shifted, because there is that residual space on that
Yeah.
one side of the island,
Yeah.
you can't put a table there. It's just
You mean right there?
Yeah, exactly. And I wonder what that is for.
Yeah,
So I think
it's a
that's
little-
unfortunately a little wasted, but I don't think it's bad enough to remove any points because I
No,
think it's
no,
really
I
overall
agree.
it's really well done.
Yeah, the one thing I don't like is this study. Now, luckily, they don't call it a 2-bedroom, 2-bath with a study, because that's
Correct.
really not a
Well,
study.
they put a chair in front of it, so they're trying to make it, but it's really not. It's
It's
just
not.
a place for a piece of furniture, a
Yeah.
credenza or something.
No, and you could actually have taken a piece of the kitchen and actually made a kind of study there on the side. And
That's
used up
actually-
some of
that's a
that-
cool idea.
Had that window.
That's a
from
cool
there.
idea.
So how did it score?
17. So it's scored
basically the same,
Basically,
right?
the other one is 18 or 17 or 18, depending on whether or not you score the laundry and the dining room.
All right, so which one are you going to choose, C or D?
Well, I'm going to choose C because I like C the best. I really think that the corner unit, the other corner with the bedrooms, I just prefer it. I prefer the layout of the other one. So I'm choosing C.
I'm going to choose D.
No,
I am.
you're just doing that just to be the devil's advocate.
No, I'm not.
Really?
The sighting drives me crazy, but overall, I just think it's a slightly better plan.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see what the viewers think.
That's right. So vote. Tell us who's right and who's wrong. See you tomorrow.